Hi College and Career Success, welcome to your Student Services Assignment video. So, as I mentioned in the welcome video, everyone who takes this class has to attend a student event or a student workshop by the end of the semester. So you can see right here, I am under the lessons folder, Student Services Assignment. This is the video that I'm recording right now that you'll be able to see eventually. And then here is the Dropbox, and it has a little bit more of the directions here. So you can, as I said, attend a workshop, a student life event, a conversation series, or a Leadership Academy event. So what you're going to do is go to your My SSC. You'll scroll down to Pages, Development and Training. And you're going to see Student Success Workshops. Now, these are the official workshops. What I just mentioned with the Student Life event, a lot of the Courageous Conversations are built in, but sometimes they're advertised separately. And the Leadership Academy, those are advertised separately. So you'll have to look for those like in your announcements or around campus. The actual workshops then are right here where I just directed you under Pages, Student Success, and you can see it goes from January all the way through May. So this is where I encourage my students to take a look through all of these options and pick at least two. And I encourage you to look at them as something that would be of interest to you. So maybe like you really like math, or it's going to be practical to you because you know what, you just are not great at interviews, or whatever the case is. Try to pick workshops that are not only going to meet this requirement, but that are also going to help you either personally or professionally. I sometimes do have students take multiple workshops because they do see ones that they think would be interesting or helpful. So they go beyond what they need to do for the class, and you're welcome to do that. And you can see as you scroll through, there's going to be a combination of like morning, afternoon, Zoom, Akron campus, lots of Zooms this semester. So that's not a bad thing, but there's 5:30 in the afternoon, 6:30 in the afternoon. So lots of options in the morning, afternoon, evening. There are some main campus, there's some Akron campus, but tons of Zooms. So that way it can be flexible to your schedule. Now, when you go, you're going to register for your workshop through Handshake, which you already had an assignment for, or depending on when you're watching this, you have an assignment for in week 1. You have a Handshake assignment. So you technically already going to have a Handshake assignment by the time you watch this video. But even if you don't, let's say you go through and you're like, okay, the resume one sounds good. You're going to click register. It's going to take you to Handshake. So if you have not got your Handshake assignment, your Handshake account all registered, this is when you would do that. It would say log in to Handshake to register. You would go over here and it's going to walk you through your school email. So you would put your username at starkstate.net. You are a student, so it's .net. And then it's just going to walk you through, and you can set it up as little or as much as you like. But eventually, whenever you get logged in, then you will register for the workshop. Now, if it's an in-person workshop, you just go there the day and time of the workshop. If it is a Zoom, sometimes the Zoom link will be right here underneath. Other times it says, hey, you'll get it after you register. So don't panic if you want to Zoom and you don't see the link. Okay, so whenever you go to register, make sure you put it down in a calendar and then pop back in here, 5-10 minutes before your Zoom is scheduled. The Zoom link should be there by then, or it'll be in your registration email. Okay, so again, I really encourage you to look around at the different offerings. And the reason I say pick two is because maybe you pick one in January, it's on campus, there's a snow day. Or maybe you pick one and you get called into work, or you get a sick kid, whatever the case is. That way you have another one maybe lined up in March. And so you have that backup registration. Now, when you go to actually turn this in, here's the Dropbox right here. You are not going to Dropbox to me your registration. Every single one of you can register for a workshop and never attend it. So I do not want your registration. You need to attend the workshop and then submit your certificate of attendance. So for some workshops, that means the facilitator will email you and say, hey, this is your email confirming your attendance. Others will tell you, hey, you need to get into Brightspace and take a survey on this workshop, and then a certificate will pop up. So depending on what workshop you attend, you'll get a different proof of attendance. but you'll put that into a PDF and you will put this right here in this Dropbox, just like the other Dropboxes you're going to see throughout the semester. If it is something that you're having a trouble, converting from whatever format to PDF, you can feel free to email it to me. If you happen to upload a registration or a blank, I will just comment with a 0 saying, hey, this is not a certificate of attendance, or I cannot open this file, just so that you're aware, especially if you turn it in early so you have more time to access that. All right, so that is your student services assignment. Again, you have until the end of the semester, but please do not wait until the end of the semester. You can see that as it gets closer to the end of the semester, there are fewer options, especially in May. So even though you have plenty of time, please do not wait until the end of April to register, because then you really have limited options and they may not work for your schedule. And again, please do not submit your registration. You need to submit your proof of attendance. Okay, so again, you have until the end of the semester. Start looking at it now. Start taking a look around, seeing what might work for you. Pay attention to any emails or announcements that have about student activities. Often you'll go to one of those and they will have a QR code you can scan as proof of attendance there. All right, if you have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out.